Hey guys, it's a Pumpkin Graveyard, and today we're going to be doing an unboxing setup and demo of the 2025 Home Depot 15-foot WorriCrow. Okay, so here he is, a 15-foot WorriCrow. He is one of the tallest in retail, well besides the 15-foot Phantom. He is an amazing prop overall. I'm so glad that I got him. And well, now let's just get to the unboxing. Alright, let's begin. Okay, so, just like every Home Depot prop, they always have instructions on the top, and they always come with a pair of paper instructions. Okay, so here is his base. It's double pulled because how tall he is. Okay, so here is his clothing. I believe his hat's in here, and I believe his hat may make him 15 feet in the air. I don't know, we will see. Okay, so here is his hand. It goes 12 feet wide on both sides, which is amazing, which I love. And exact same sculpt as WorriCrow. Here's a leg piece. Seems to be another leg piece. His other hand. Another arm. His hip piece. Another leg piece. So this is one of his main pieces, where it goes from tree stump to more of like legs and knees. Here is his massive rib cage, which I love. It looks amazing. And then it has some lighting inside, so it makes it look like it's like flaming, just like kind of like Inferno Pumpkin. And one more leg piece. Here is his base, which is amazing and I love. It's nice and big. A pole. We have his adapter. So we have some metal poles. I believe that these are for his base for extra support. Next, we have more poles. Now we have a lot more poles. Next, we have those plastic cover-up pieces. They're usually used for the taller props. Alright, next we have his head. Alright, so taking it out, this is the back of his head. Alright, so it does look like it's to be a burlap texture, and his head really does look amazing. I love how it looks. Huge, just like the 12-foot skeleton and really all the big props from Home Depot. Okay, so that was everything out of the box. So the next step is to get to the setup. So let's go. Alright, so starting off with his tree trunk, we are going to be putting on his real base and putting his fake base right over these metal poles. So the way that you know you have it orientated right is there's a little notch right somewhere around right there. And you're just going to be putting it straight under this base, and there's going to be a metal pole right here. So let's slide this down, and that just sits there right on the metal base. Alright, so the next step is you're going to be grabbing C and D. D is this one big whole piece right here, and you're going to be sliding on C right over this metal pole, both of these, and you're going to find the hole and you're going to screw both of these on. So the next step, we are going to be putting this pole right over these two poles. These should align with these two holes down right here. Alright, so now we're going to screw these on the bottom right down here. And this is very helpful because they are all the same screws and it comes with an Allen wrench. Okay, so now we're going in letter form. I have E right here, and we're just going to place it right over these metal poles. And now I have to find F. Okay, I have F now, and now we're going to put it right over these metal poles and make it lock in place. It should stay pretty stable, but when you put more poles and more of that on top, it'll stay more stabilized. But the reason why I'm building it this way is so we could reach these holes right here and screw on the screws. Alright, next we have G, and now G has this metal pole, it's because it kind of makes all these seam lines down here all disappear. And I wish the whole thing had it because I had seen there are some big cracks up there, and it would be awesome if all poles had that, and it would really help a lot with the prop. Alright, so the next piece is H, and it would be going right there. And so we are kind of getting close to the wall, so it is a good time to flip him around to his front, and then we'll get it on. Okay, so make sure your sensor is in the front, and then all the wiring back here is all in the back. Alright, next we have pole I, so make sure you put it right down here and connect it to the other pole, and then make sure you screw it too. Alright, so he is getting pretty high, so it is a good time to lean him down. Alright, so next we're attaching pole J, and make sure you wire these first, because you will not reach these when you have this guy fully put up. And then you want to make sure you screw it in too. Alright, next we have piece K. You just want to slide it all the way down, and then let it match. Alright, next we have piece L, and we just want to slide it right on this pole, and then let it snap in place, and then you'll want to screw it as well too. Then we have N, the final leg piece. Alright, next we have a hip piece. So we just want to first connect the wires. Okay, so just got his hip piece in. It does recommend 3 people, but it definitely is possible for one person to do it, because I did get it in with a ladder, and I had to stand it up, and then I locked it in. Like, it helps, really it helps a lot, because like gravity pulls it in, like pulls it down, and it really helps. So it is totally definitely possible for one person. Okay, so next is his rib cage. So you want to plug in his wires before you lock it in. Got all his wires plugged in. Let's get this in. Okay, so next is his tether hook to be locking this into place. So I heard it is pretty hard to push all the way down there, but you are going to want to push as hard as you can to get it all the way down there, tight as possible. And I have heard that it is pretty hard to get down there, so you probably will be wanting to use a stake to give it more torque, and it will probably help a lot more. That went in really easily, and now you just want to make sure it's locked. Okay, so the next step is to put on all these caps for all these holes, and make sure you have all the screws on, because you do not want to forget that. But for example, Y, we're just gonna slide on Y just like that. Okay, now I got them all snapped into place. Now there is one for the head, and I think I know why. Just for an extra protector for like no water to come in. Okay, so the next step is his jacket, and you want to make sure you drape it over him. And then you want to make sure his poles are aligned where they can connect. They give you that little hole right here so you could tie on his tethers. Alright, next we have piece T. Then you want to slide it to his sleeve. And then you're going to snap lock it on. Next, his hand is going to go in. And then you could push it down a little. And then you want to find the metal pole and then slide it on there. And these is one of those that you just push in and then twist to lock. Now you want to do the exact same thing to the other arm. So next we have his head. So first you want to screw on his cord, and then his cord does go to the lights inside of his head. Now you want to slide it on here. So make sure you have a screw on. It goes right around the mech, and then you want to put on X that just slides on right here. Alright, so next we have his hat, so you just want to slide over his elastic band over his head, and then put on his Velcro. Alright, he is complete. So the next step is to tilt him up, which is probably the difficultest part. So we'll figure out and see how that goes, and then we'll go straight to the demo. Alright, he is fully stood up now. Now, he is one of my
favorite Home Depot props, as in though I love Night Doll, he might just beat him by a little bit. But now I might just plug him in and then I'll show you. Alright, now he's plugged in. He is just such an amazing prop. I love what Home Depot did with him. Everything about him looks awesome. He is a great prop. And then he does have the same mechanism as a 12-foot levitating Reaper from the Home Depot. That's another great prop. But overall, I love this prop. He's amazing. He's really, really cool. And just everything about him is so cool. But now, see you guys in the next one. Bye.